What's going on, everybody? It's be your boy DJ Anonymous with Sports Biz Music, the podcast, episode 106. And I got a very, very special guest on the show today. I have Ms. Liz Marie on the show today. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, it was raining a lot earlier in Miami. Miami's weather is very bipolar, so, you know, it's... It's crazy.
Send me some of this LA sunshine we got.
Yeah, like, you know, like I said, like LA, like weather is like it's nothing compared like to like Miami. Like last year I went around like was it June, and it was like cool at night. I'm like,
Yep.
I forgot, like this is 56 degrees at night. I wish we could get that weather over here. You know,
Yeah, we sleep good in the summer.
So,
Nice.
but before we get into the questions and everything, you know, introduce yourself to the people.
Sure. So my name is Liz. Marie is my last name. I gotta correct people on that all the time. And I'm a brand strategy consultant. So I help businesses grow, clarify their message, reach more clients, better connect with their clients, stand out from their competition. It's something I'm really passionate about because I feel that my purpose is to help other people grow, inspire them, empower them to reach their highest potential. So that's how I do it. But I'm really excited to talk with you today because I'm a hooper. I grew up playing ball. I love sport. I love music. So we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's what's up. So before we get into all that, like, what made you want to, you know, get into, you know, being a strategist? Because I seen that you said that you've been working on PowerPoint pretty much your whole life. So
Yeah. So it's funny. I kind of fell into it, and it's one of those things that just life works out the way it's supposed to. So I'm a very curious person. I love school. I love to learn. And I've wanted to be like every career you can imagine. So I actually went to school. I got into UCLA as a part of Air Force ROTC, and I wanted to go to the armed services. I wanted to be a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny in just like 1 year how your life could change because I didn't get medically cleared because I have asthma, and it was kind of a fluke. So
yeah, me too.
No more Air Force. Yeah, it's crazy. And then, you know, I did pre-med for a year, and I was like, this sucks. Like, I'm used to getting A's without trying is really what it was, and I had to maybe apply myself more than I wanted to. UCLA's medical program is crazy. Like, everyone fails the test. You get like a high grade of like a 38. It's just ridiculous. And I was like, you know, I don't care about this enough to put in that level of work. I still want to have a life. So I kind of guessed at like what a new direction would be. I looked at all the different majors and I found communication, and it kind of sounded cool. I thought I would explore it, and at the same time, I applied for an internship as a writer, and that was just something I always knew I could do. I was always creative. I wrote poetry and did a lot of creative writing growing up. So I used like my graduation speech as a writing sample, and I started this marketing agency. And at the time, I didn't even know what marketing was at all. He gave me a book the first day. My old boss, Matt Bernini, shout out, because he really changed my life. And after a month, he hired me, and I worked there for 10 years. I was our third employee. We grew to be like a 15-person agency. Big, you know, billion-dollar clients, really, really high-end branding. And it was this really rare opportunity where he saw something in me and trusted me to learn as I went. So I started as a writer. I learned about brand strategy and messaging for brands. I learned design and even web development. And so by the end, I moved into like a creative direction role where I was defining the strategy both on the message and how to position a brand so that they connect with their customers, but also what does it look like? What is the what are the colors, what's the logo, like what's the whole art direction for the brand. And it was just super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would kind of lead a team through the whole process. And after a while, it was like my next step. I just needed something new. I had stopped learning. If you work in a small environment with the same people for 10 years, you can only learn so much from them.
Yeah, it gets kind of like repetitive after a while.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm big on pushing myself. I've realized lately that as soon as I get to this point where I'm like, oh, I'm good, or good,
Mm-hmm.
without even realizing it, I have to fuck it up and do something new.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Like, yeah, and I don't realize I'm doing it in the moment, but I just need a challenge. So I left and I took a job in-house as a creative director, which is what I thought I had always wanted. And it's been great. But ultimately, I realized that the strategy part of the role is what I'm best at,
mm-hmm.
and what maybe is more unique. It's harder to be good at, in my opinion.
Right.
It's where I can add the most value for other people. Because there are a ton of like really talented designers,
right.
like thousands. If you need one, I could put you in because I know a lot. But I think there are fewer strategists who understand the creative, can put all the pieces together and make it really clear and simple.
Right.
That's my long roundabout answer.
So like, what's the day-to-day, duties as a strategist? Because people don't realize, especially like us folk that's in branding and marketing and doing everything behind the scenes, like it's a lot of work. People think it's easy, like it's a hassle. Like even to get clients to bid into what you offer, like it's a lot,
Yeah. You have, of course you have all the traditional challenges of a business. So like you said, especially a business,
mm-hmm.
Business owner. So, marketing, getting clients, servicing clients, putting out proposals, all of that. I'm sure a lot of other, entrepreneurs can relate to. But the actual role itself, as far as how I serve my clients,
right.
Is often on a project basis. And it usually starts with facing some type of challenge in their business. And it might be that they're not growing the way they want to be growing. Right. It might be that they're just starting out and really just not sure where to start. Usually there's a lot of confusion, mm-hmm. Uncertainty, frustration. It's just not working the way they want it to work. And, for anyone without own business or is really high up and kind of invest so much of themselves into it, it sucks. It's a really frustrating place to be in. If you feel lost or you're not getting the results you want, because it's very personal. Mm-hmm. So my approach is to do a lot of research first. So I research everything I need to know about my client's business. Usually then I do a bunch of interviews one-on-one with all of the stakeholders and ask everything I can about, why they exist, where they want to go, what makes them special, what's the culture of the company, what are their strengths, and their own understanding of who their customer or their client is. Right. And then if they'll let me, I'll actually talk to their customers or their clients, whether that's with interviews or surveys, so I can hear firsthand, like, what do you guys want? What do you care about? Why did you choose this person, for this business? And it's funny how much you learn from doing that, because usually the client or the end customer will say something about the business that the business didn't even recognize themselves. Mm-hmm. And then finally, I'll look at their competitors. So I'll see, like, who is your most direct competitor? Who's an aspirational competitor that's maybe much bigger than you, mm-hmm. that is somewhere you want to, aspire to? And I'll look at, let's say, 5 to 10 of them, and I'll analyze everything they're doing in marketing and branding. What's their message? Who are they talking to? How do they structure their products or their services? to try to find gaps and opportunities. So let's say that 9 out of the 10 are doing it this way. That means there's a gap in doing it the other way.
So you pretty much dissect the whole company then. Like you pretty much break down from inside out and also the competition, correct?
Yep, exactly. Because the goal, really in an effective strategy for a brand, and for those who do know, which is maybe a lot of people, because I didn't realize this before I got into this space, people think of a brand as a logo.
Right.
Often, but really, your brand is every single thing, or is influenced by every single thing your company does, because a brand is how your customer or how someone feels about your business.
Right.
So there's thousands of things that shape that feeling. So it's a lot to factor in. So the real sweet spot is that you want it to be something that's true to who your company really is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to be authentic. It's got to feel like you. It has to be something that your customers actually want to care about. Because you can create a really cool brand or really cool offer, and if it isn't something that's relevant to your customer, it's not going to sell.
Right.
And then the third thing is that it also has to do all of that while being unique from your competitors, and you have to stand out. So I think of those as like 3 intersecting circles, and you want to be that sweet spot right in the middle.
Yeah, because, especially now, it's 2019 going to 2020, and you're hearing about all these analytics about, like, in the next 20, 30 years, like, more people's going to get into more of freelance work, and for us, like, it's going to be more competitive. Like, you have, us as millennials, and then you got the next generation and the generation after that, which, I always tell people, in our generation, they think that, we was built with the technology already established, but the technology was tested on us and the generation before. And for the generation that's coming up, like these kids, like I always remind them, I keep saying it, but if I had these investment apps and stuff like that, or these social media accounts that was fully established, when I was in high school, like, I'd be a millionaire right now. Like, think about it. When YouTube came out, it was still like, people were testing it out. Twitter, Facebook wasn't as big. It was still growing. The only thing that we had was MySpace, but to me, MySpace really taught us how to just socialize and how to create and design. It didn't give us that I guess that platform, if you on Twitter, to express yourself even more, but also gain traffic and gain new relationships and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's why like for me, I be watching ESPN every day, and they always say, "Oh, these millennials this and millennials that." But I'm like, if you want to put us on that, you could also talk about y'all generation, like as far as like the D Generation X, the Generation X generation where they pretty much was. I've always felt like they was the ones who was the main reason why technology was really created, because they needed computers in order to email people and invest in stocks the easier way and things like that. Our generation just implemented, all right, that's what's the next level, and that's social media and texting and everything, like, but like, I don't know, like it's a lot,
Well, it's interesting because I think first of all, people are resistant to change and always want to think of their own. Like, adolescence and youth as a golden era. But I think, you can't look at one side without the other. So, sure, there are negative things about technology and what it has done to our society. But there are also incredible things. And it has empowered consumers. It's empowered us with knowledge and awareness that is really transformational in our world. even looking in terms of branding or trying to position yourself as a brand, a business,